It's 17 now past the hour of 6 o'clock. I count my blessings. Are you counting yours? Good morning, Bridge Nation. Welcome to Top of the Bridge Up and Go. My name is Richie B.
DJ Audley in the building.
And we hope you had a wonderful weekend. It's the start of a new week. It's the 5th day in the month of June 2023.
Already?
Yeah, which makes it the first Monday. Yeah, first Monday in June, with all its possibilities. All right, so we're going to take care of you until 10 o'clock this morning. Of course, we've got all the usual features, and we have some guests that will be joining us. I can tell you about some of them. At 7 o'clock, Mr. Rohan Brown, the head of the weather branch at the MetService, is going to be talking to us. And we're right at the start of the Atlantic hurricane season. Although it is being touted as possibly a very quiet one, I think I read where there might be a few storms and a few that could be, in fact, become major storms. I want to be talking more about that with the weather prognosticator, Mr. Rohan Brown. It's time for WTF, What the Fact? And here's an interesting fact. This morning, we're looking at elephants. And something related to elephants that I find quite startling. A single elephant tooth can weigh as much as 9 pounds. You heard right. Interestingly, elephants are gentle giants that many people like to know, more and more about. Their physical and social attributes are truly fascinating. For starters, did you know that a single elephant tooth can weigh as much as 9 pounds? That's as heavy as a human baby. Oh, there it is on the screen.
That's something.
My God. Elephants are the world's largest land animals. During their adult lives, they will have 4 molars, and each of these is located in each jaw. 4 of them have. Later in life, a single molar can be 10 to 12 inches long and can weigh more than 3.6 kilograms. The molar of an elephant is perfect for grinding because it is wide and it is flat. So while for humans, teeth are produced from the top and bottom of the mouth, in elephants, they develop from the back and move forward. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
During its lifetime, an elephant can have 6 sets of molars. Usually, the final set erupts when the animal is in its early 40s and will last the rest of its life. Yep, that's an interesting fact, isn't it? I'm seeing it on the screen as well. Not the most attractive thing I've seen Kevin put up on the screen, to be honest with you. It almost looks scary. But that's a fact that we thought we'd share with you. Did you know that?
Yeah, man, I know that a long time, man. Yes, man.
Oh, yes, an elephant for a long time.
Yeah, man, that's the thing, yeah.
9 pounds is what a tooth can weigh in an elephant's mouth. My goodness. Yeah, that is like the equivalent of a human baby.
It's a big tooth.
That goes for 9 months. Eh?
That's a big tooth.
Very big tooth indeed. All right, and that's not the only thing that's big about elephants, obviously. After all, they are the largest land animals. That's an interesting fact, the kind that we like to share with you at 6:25 every weekday morning here on Top of the Bridge Up and Go.
Yeah, get them all.
Alright, Bridge Nation, boy, when you see what's going on in the music, the technology in today's music is very, very interesting. And of course, we see the latest vibes going on with Vybz Kartel as he appears in new music video thanks to deep AI technology. Yeah, man, when you see the vibes what go on. So thanks to deep AI technology, incarcerated dancehall star Vybz Kartel has made his first music video appearance since 2011, joining Russian and American rapper Trippie Redd in the recently released visuals for 16. Now, the song's music video, directed by Shane Creative, big up yourself, Shane, owes much of the world boss's lifelike portrayal to VFX artist VFX by Rez. Now, in the video, a real-life Vybz Kartel lookalike overlaps the dancehall megastar's facial features onto his. The result of that, coupled with the actor's lanky appearance and tattoos, is a convincing portrayal of the DJ as he makes his way through the Russian-led track. It is perhaps the first time deepfake tech has been used in the production of dancehall music on any level. Over the last 2 years, artificial intelligence has gotten much better, I agree, at mimicking reality as tech companies unleashed tools that allow for the easy creation of synthetic images, audio, and video. Now, Russian and Vybz Kartel on the track take turns celebrating their lifelong running friendship, and each reflects on their journey to stardom in the mellow sounding track. As Kartel hints at experiencing bouts of sadness, he pivots to his appreciation of Russian's friendship and assures the renowned producer that he has his back. I like this tune. 16 a big tune.
Yeah.
But there's a deep fake technology.
Oh, there is. Interesting.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Yeah, big up VFX by Rez.
Let me tell you.
It's a very, very, very good effort.
Technology creeping into the dancehall space big time.
Yeah. And it's I think it's gonna be the first of many. And it only makes sense that, you know, people like Russian Cartel and even like Shane Creative is a part of such a groundbreaking initiative in the dancehall. So
how long ago do you think that photograph of Cartel was taken?
long time. Yeah, long time.
Maybe. Well, definitely over 7. Well, how long is he incarcerated now?
That's not good. I'm afraid to do that much.
Oh, 5, 6.
No, that's not
How much?
No.
More than that?
About 12
10
years.
Yeah, probably
What?
about 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably about 10.
Yeah,
That's a
about
long
12
time
years.
teacher.
Man, soon come on the road.
For 13. Yeah. About 12
It's
or
been a
13
minute.
years.
That looks like a more recent photograph.
Hold on. The photo before
Yeah.
was they have a saying on the road, that's Black Cartel.
And then you have a white
This
Cartel.
is
Well, you know what interested me in this song?
Yeah.
You know, because we know the dancehall space can be quite macho. You know what I'm saying? What I really appreciate is it was so refreshing here. Cartel actually on the track say, Russian, I love you.
Oh.
You know, it's actually a real different vibe. And I say,
Okay.
I never know such sort of relationship, you know?
Yeah,
Strong
deep.
between,
Oh,
Very
yeah.
deep.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah,
it's a
man.
good look.
Well, from you see, Russian can continue to use Cartel's voice in many of the intros to his songs.
Hey, Russian!
You know, so them good.
Yeah.
or else
long
would I hear from Cartel long time. Yeah.
Long time, let me tell you.
All right. I think I want to just stick with Cartel since he's so much in the news right now. And he's celebrating not just that development as far as AI is concerned with his track with Russian, but he's celebrating a new milestone for his album King of the Dancehall, which now has achieved over 100 million streams on Spotify this month. According to his management team, the album, which was released in 2016 and went on to spawn some of the biggest commercial hits for Vybz Kartel's career, is now past 100 million streams on Spotify. Vybz Kartel is the biggest and most influential artist of the first 23 years of the new millennium. No one can deny that. The body of work known as King of the Dancehall is just one of a plethora of reasons why this is so, according to Jaheim Palmer, his oldest son. A proxy comment from the artist added no surprises here as to the album getting over 100 million streams. As a matter of fact, were I a free man, we would be talking tens of billions of streams. So yeah, a one world boss, one dancehall king. Any other king must be joking. All right, you see, on that very high note, me not read no more of this story. We got enough of this one, trust me. He can't top that in anything else that he says in that story. But congratulations to Adesha Palmer, aka Vybz Kartel. That's it for update. Right now, here is today's proverb of the day.
Pepper bun hot, but it good for curry.
Say what?
Pepper bun hot, but it good for curry.
But even if you hear the meaning, it makes sense. Like right away. Yeah, that's true.
Pepper bun hot.
That is it.
But it good for curry.
Amen. It's true.
Yeah, man. Advice that may seem harsh, as in pepper bun hot. Advice that may seem harsh is sometimes good for you when you get
Agreed.
right down to it.
Agreed. Yeah,
Can't go around that.
it's true.
Can't go around that at all. Pepper bun hot, but it good for curry. Yeah. All right, it's 13 now before the hour of 7 o'clock, and we have what is called a pet peeve coming up. A pet peeve is something that somebody else does that very often you find annoying, irritating, very often upsetting.
True that.
We have a member of the Bridge Nation giving us a pet peeve this morning.
My pet peeve is people who make dog lick their mouth. Like, ew, that's gross. And consistently too. Not even like a puppy, but a grown dog. Do you know what dogs eat? Do you know what dogs do? Gross. A big pet peeve of mine. People who allow dogs to lick their mouth.
Oi.
No, Bridge Nation.
No, sir. Yeah, that's true.
No, I saw it the other day and I was like, yo.
Yeah, I love my dog though, but no, sir. Go work. Go work.
I've seen some images there that are quite disturbing. Actually, I feel like it's what you can do now when somebody like they might take advantage of the dogs.
Poor dog no one do it, but you just eat something what the dog like.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm there. But no, you abuse the dog. No,
Yeah,
I don't like
abuse,
it.
man.
I don't like it. But you know what persons who like that always said their rebuttal is but dogs' mouths are cleaner than humans.
Oh really?
So them say.
Come on.
Just like, but no, I like JoJo. Cause I don't trust it. That don't make no sense. Cause some things when I see my dog eat, and them not. When I see them go bathroom, go brush teeth or nothing after. So, how? You tell me now.
No, seriously.
But each his own in Richie.
It is. There are some people who really are into their dogs like that.
And they do take care of their dogs.
they do.
Dental hygiene. But for those who don't, yeah,
but
it's not for you.
even if they do take care of the dogs, is dental hygiene, for God's sake, man. Like,
It's not so much. Like it's a movie, romance scene. That's a romantic music in the background. And
I wonder if there's anybody out there going now, you all need to shut up. That's what I do quite often.
Yeah.
My dog and myself are good like that.
Just kiss them dog before they head out.
Yeah, you get into your vehicle and then you say, oh my goodness,
I forgot.
Bruno, I forgot to kiss you. Let me go back inside and give you a kiss, Bruno.
Come, Bruno. Bruno, jump up in your arms.
Oh boy.
Poor Bruno say, oh, not again.
No.
But you more food later.
That's an actual cooperate. So sections of Oteria in St. Anne yesterday were eventually returned to normalcy after what is described as a bomb threat at a service station at the intersection of Da Costa Drive and Milford Road in the resort town. The police issued a statement that at about 9 o'clock, the operator of the service station at this major commercial complex received a message that a bomb was planted at the location, and a video was subsequently shared on a social media platform in which an individual claimed that a bomb was at the service station and that he was demanding 20 million Jamaican dollars. The police were contacted and several units responded along with the Constabulary Forces Bomb Squad, the Jamaica Defense Force, and the Jamaica Fire Brigade. Traffic was subsequently diverted and the location was thoroughly checked along with several other surrounding businesses, and no explosives were found. Of course, this caused a major situation developing down there. A lot of inconvenience, a lot of anxiety, and not long thereafter, sometime late yesterday, the individual responsible for causing all of this problem came out. Simply, Shelz, you have it.
Yeah.
You have what he said and all that, right?
Yeah, so apparently, his name is Unbeatable King. And apparently he's coming out. He looks like he was quite surprised at the fact that it went viral. Don't know why he's surprised by that. You just legit threaten national security. But yeah, so basically he's saying like, listen, he took down the video, so like he's feeling a bit of regret. But he also took the time now with his newfound fame. He's to say, yo, listen, I'm actually an artist by the name of, I believe, Just Cool or something like that. And he must say, yo, he actually has very good music. And but the problem is in the industry, people tend to listen to rubbish and it's his music. But the part of me know say music not good, Richie. Part of me know say the music not good. The part in the video him say, I'm a big artist. You can ask me our God. I was just like, yo, hold on, what? No reference my earth?
You think, to be honest, with a statement like that, you think mentally is,
that's a case of mental instability.
Yeah.
But this first of all, he didn't post any of his music, so many persons would have been seeing this video and became very concerned, worried.
Of course.
People would have lost business because the police were there clearing out all of the surrounding areas in Ocho Rios yesterday. Yeah. And now he's saying that he has got good music. What name? Unbeatable?
Unbeatable King.
Man, they deserve some beating, man.
Yeah.
So they're beating for coming in. Don't take it in your own hands, please. But if the police catch up with him, as I think they should.
Yeah,
because I don't think this kind of carelessness should go unpunished. In all honesty, I mean, there must be some charges that might be laid against an individual who does this kind of thing. Creating public mischief comes to mind first off.
Richie, and I gotta tell you, like, even if the youth have good music, you don't know, we welcome new artists, but right now you can't go to root them because right now you're not even an artist now, you're a terrorist. You understand me? That'll be the first thing. Like you're on terrorist. Yeah, man.
But the Constabulary Force, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, has taken note of the incident. And they note the threat that led to significant disruptions in commercial activities and placed undue stress on the citizens of the community. They actually put out a statement saying, "We understand that a certain individual had claimed responsibility for this threat via the social media platform TikTok, presenting it as a prank. We would like to publicly request this individual to immediately present himself at the nearest police station." I'd suggest that he takes his lawyer with him because I believe he's going to be charged for something. He said, the police said, "We assure him that our intention is to engage in a conversation regarding the incident and to ascertain his involvement." They also went on to say that we urge the individual involved and all members of the public to comprehend the gravity of such actions. The JCF has discussed the issue on social media pranks in the past, and we continue to take a firm stance against such practices. These so-called pranks are not harmless. They have considerable implications on public order, economic activities, and social harmony. Well said, JCF. Did Unbeatable
Unbeatable King, just cool.
King? Why would I even like that name to him? Unbeatable fool. Yeah. But did he apologize in any way whatsoever?
That's a good question.
In the post that you saw, he didn't apologize. So he really was trying to push the fact that he have good music with more people here.
Because like you said, he basically kick off the video by saying, he mentioned the video and he said, it's no longer up because he never know it would have go so viral. In other words, I'm guessing he never knows it would have caused so much mayhem. And then he just went on to just say, listen,
So you realize not even apologize.
Yeah, just go on for say, look, but in the end of the day, my artist.
He disrupted lives.
Look at
affected livelihoods.
There.
See the video there of all that was happening in Ocho Rios. Place being cleared out. Stores were closing their shutters. Police are on the scene. The fire brigade. I mean,
what I will say though, it's actually really nice to see that the response from the authorities. I commend them, even though false alarm. I'm sorry to say time and resources were wasted, but nice for to say when they dip on the ball and shut it down.
No, but that's a
serious something that man.
And it's a major problem that several of our institutions are having. The fire brigade get a lot of these calls on an annual basis. The police get it, and I think it just needs to stop. And I think one way to stop it is to ensure that persons who are engaged in that kind of activity or carelessness be charged. Yeah.
Well,
and not look a light charge either.
I
mean, you hear talk about how much activities are doing for the economy of a town.
Yeah.
You hear talk like, okay, Sumfest is bringing in $3 billion.
True.
Yesterday's action could have cost $1 billion in Ocho Rios in terms of economic activity.
Just simple.
And you cannot have individuals feeling that it's okay because I'm trying to get some attention. Just go about, doing these careless things. And walk away scot-free. Well, that is my position on it.
And my final word would be, if I want to, we can get the Andrew Holness administration, is that when them people up on social media going with a bag of foolishness,
them usually get found, embarrassed, and at least found and embarrassed. I don't know about the charge yet.
Yeah, so Unbeatable King, do the right thing.
Yeah, man.
Turn yourself in, bars. See, I'm a big artist.
Police gonna find him. I'd love to hear what transpires, though. I'm going to be watching that very, very carefully.
Thing, man. Yeah, man.
I have a problem. Big problem.
All right. So, suppose him saying you're true now.
And the tune, but
if him send we a song,
you say you.
I have to hear him apologize.
Yeah, definitely have to apologize.
If him don't apologize, and you play that on the show,
hold on.
we have a problem.
Hold on.
What you say, Kevin?
Me have a solution for him still. Me have a solution for him. Me have a song for him. Me have a solution.
Yeah?
What Kevin I say? Make we hear.
What if he made a song apologizing?
Well,
An apology is an apology.
yeah.
Yeah, so
good
we're
one,
not to
Kevin.
fight it, but it
Yeah,
must
it's a good one.
must come in one form or another. That is my view, Kevin. So if him send a tune and him apologize,
Yeah.
we'll get a run.
Why not?
But if him don't apologize to the nation, I would find it very difficult to support his music. In all honesty, you have to stand up for something or else fall for anything.
Facts.
All right. Now, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration predicted in late May a 40% chance of 2023 being a near normal hurricane season, a 30% chance of an above average season, which has more storms than usual, and a 30% chance of a below normal season, which has even fewer. This year, the Hurricane Center is rolling out a new storm surge model that will help push real-time storm surge prediction out of the 72 hours in advance of the storm. So that is a major development, and there are others that we want to be talking about. And we're happy to be joined at this time by, of course, head of the weather branch at the Met Service, Mr. Rohan Brown. Morning, Mr. Brown. How are you?
Hi, good morning. I'm well, thank you. And how about you?
We're doing well, and we're happy to have you on with us this morning, Mr. Brown. Because it's so important, we were quite happy to accommodate a little later start to this interview. What would you say are the predictions for the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season? And by extension, Mr. Brown, what factors are taken into consideration when, in fact, you're making these predictions?
All right, as it is now, and I think you would have said it earlier, we're expecting 12 to 17 named storms. So we're expecting anywhere between 12, 17 storms to form, 5 to 9 of which could become a hurricane, and of course 1 to 4 becoming major hurricane. That is the expectations. A normal season has an average 14 named storms, 7 of which become hurricane and 3 major hurricane. So based on what you have said earlier on and based on the statistics, we're expecting a near normal season. Now, there are many factors that go into the hurricane season in terms of the number of systems and the development. But for this year particularly, there are 2 competing climatic systems that are occurring. First, you have what is called the El Nino, and it is a warming of the equatorial waters in the Pacific. But when that occurs, it affects global circulation systems. And what's happened in the Caribbean region, you have wind shear. So you have an easterly wind at the lower levels, westerly winds at the upper levels, and therefore it does not allow systems to develop as they would on a year when there's not strong El Nino. So therefore, that is going to limit or suppress the development of hurricanes according to atmospheric models. However, on the flip side, the heat is another factor. So high sea surface temperatures, ocean temperatures to a particular depth below the surface of the water, those high ocean temperatures provide the energy or the instability required for the hurricanes to grow and develop. So those 2 dominant climatic factors are what will dictate the number of storms that develop. And as it is, we're going into El Nino. And because of that, there is a near normal. So if it was about 2 years ago when we were in La Nina, then we would expect an above average or above normal season. But for this year, a near normal season.
All right. Now, Mr. Brown, speaking of the impact of climate change on weather patterns, what measures are being taken to ensure that Jamaica is prepared for more severe hurricanes in the future?
Well, the preparation comes from different stakeholders. As it relates to the meteorological service, we tend to train our staff members. We can proudly say that all meteorologists at the Met Service are trained at the National Hurricane Center. So we are skilled in terms of prediction, in terms of analysis, in terms of all the things that are related to the hurricane as it moves near or across Jamaica. By law, in terms of MOU or mandate, the National Hurricane Center is responsible for all hurricanes that move across the Atlantic, and therefore we do work closely with the National Hurricane Center. So in terms of skill set, we are prepared. We have the forecasters. But we have partnerships as well. We partner with agencies such as the ODPEM, such as the Fire Brigade, the police, the JDF, other entities, so that they would even have the information before the general public in terms of the possible development of a system. In terms of the Met Service, we are prepared for the eventual hurricane or the changes in hurricane that may occur.
Mm-hmm. I know a lot of our listeners right now out there hearing that it's a near normal prediction for this season are going to be running with that, Mr. Brown. But what would you say to individuals listening in terms of how they ought to prepare for any potential hurricane that might occur this season and basically to ensure their safety during a major weather event? Words of advice.
So it depends. It doesn't matter the statistics. It doesn't matter the number of storms or whatever. The critical number is always 1. Because all it takes is the passage of one system across or near Jamaica to cause significant damage to property and infrastructure. It will lead to the loss of livelihoods and, more importantly, the loss of lives. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter how many predictions are out there. The critical number is 1. So if you hear that a tropical storm or hurricane is on its way to Jamaica or passing near Jamaica, it is absolutely critical that you prepare. Preparation is always the key. We are in 2023 with all of our smartphones. Information is at the tip of our fingers. Let us stay informed this hurricane season and be prepared, because remember, disasters do happen, and therefore preparation is always the key. So to everybody listening, if and when there's a hurricane watch or warning, take the necessary advice and action that is recommended by the authorities, because it could save your very own life.
Are you satisfied with the protocols that are in place in terms of how we can respond should there be the need during the hurricane season?
In terms from the Met Office perspective, yes. I think we are capable of providing the information, and I think the ODPEM, who is responsible for emergency management, are also in a position to do so. And we, of course, partner with that entity so that they have the relevant information at the appropriate time to make the necessary decisions.
Mm-hmm. Are the storms already named?
We have one system so far, I think Arlene, and so there's one system for the season.
Okay. Please, I hope they don't name one Richard, because that could be very dangerous, Mr. Brown.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. All right. Well, it's fairly good news that we're hearing that it's a near normal prediction, and we hope that holds true. And a parting shot before you go, what do you want to leave with us? Preparation
is the key. And if there is a warning or a watch, please take the necessary precaution, do what you have to do, and listen to the instructions of the authority, because you could save your very own life. Well said. Mr. Rohan Brown, head of the weather branch at the Med Service, thank you for your time and the information you shared. Have a great day. Have a blessed day. Appreciate it. All right, it's now 14 before the hour of 8 o'clock. Richie. And yeah. You mentioned names. Mm-hmm. So I just saw here the list of names for the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season. Yeah. The hurricane names. Mm-hmm. And I'm a man of humor. Yeah. Very much so. I noticed the name Nigel. Nigel did it? Yeah. I'm just saying what are the odds, let's just hope that no pass. Maybe some people are saying storm in a teacup. I don't know. Is that a star in a good song? Well, I'm glad I'm not seeing Richard, thank God, because trust me, that would be nothing would normal about that. Someone know my name, no cool, Audley, I wonder. No, it's Arlene, so Arlene, not Audley. Listen, maybe next year, Audley. Hold on, man. Yeah.
You basically have to wait till maybe, August, end of August, September, you reach R. Rich.
No, the R they have is Rena.
Rena. Yeah.
So they actually have Arlene, Brett, Cindy, Don, Emily, Franklin, Gert, Harold, Idalia, Jose, Keisha, Lee, Margot, Nigel, Ophelia, Philippe, Rena, Rena, Sean, Tammy, Vince, and Whitney. Those are the names that they actually have for the season.
I'm afraid I'm done.
Eh.
Call it from now. Anything on name done.
Yeah, Hurricane, now you have a name done.
Yeah, man.
That sounds like something that we'd be quite concerned about, in all honesty. How did Dan show up,
Yeah. Oh boy.
So that's it. But I'm liking the fact that he took the time to stress preparation.
Yes.
And listening out for these forecasts and so on.
Yeah.
People who are living in certain flood-prone areas and so on, they have to listen up. People living on the gully bank will know things hard and so on. Many times the shelters are there, but people just not move.
Yeah, and what resonated with me was when Mr. Brown said, no matter how many numbers you want to hear, the most important number is one.
Yeah.
All we need to know is that there's one system out there and we just need to take action, right?
Yeah. All right. There's a storm coming in out of the UK right now. I am told.
Yeah, man.
And it's now time for the UK connection.
Yes, sir.
This is when the Bridge 99 FM out of Jamaica, where we are, simulcasts with, of course, the Beat London 103.6 FM, where Robo Ranks is. Good morning, Robo.
Good morning, team. Don't worry, the storm will blow over. It'll only be a half hour. It won't be that long, Richie.
Okay.
Well, I'll stay away from football and all that stuff. Anyway,
it could cause a lot of damage in a half an hour, though.
it can cause a lot of damage in 15 seconds.
That's right. Or 13.
13.
Yeah, I think it's more like it can even be worse at 13.
Oh man, I thought it was 15. I know there was a record set as the fastest goal to go in. I was cutting you some slack. I was giving you an extra 2 seconds. But if you say 13,
let me tell you something.
It is.
It only takes one so early in the game for me to get up from the television screen, express myself because no one was nearby, using whatever language I chose to use before I could muster enough courage really to go back and sit in front of that screen on Saturday.
I will say I was rooting for Manchester United, but
thank you.
What?
Just didn't quite. I was rooting.
Really?
I wanted Man United. I didn't want. And listen, we all deep that we don't want Man City to win the treble.
Oh,
you
come
crazy?
on, come on, Robbo. Listen, Robbo.
Some would say it's a foregone conclusion. Some would say, like you, I hope it doesn't happen. Oddly, what do you think?
Listen, Robbo. I told you guys. Listen, a triple.
Here we go.
You didn't.
Champions,
You didn't.
Champions.
I did.
Listen, odds. I've got all the tapes. You never once said in the morning that you were going to win any treble.
Robbo, listen. Let's play back the tape right now. Listen.
Oh gosh!
Me have a piece of food for making.
Man. Well, congrats.
Machine stock. Tape machine stock. Can't find it. Well, anyway, it was a great weekend of sport. I didn't get to see most of the sports like the F1 and what have you. I know some people will. And if it's one of those weekends, prepare to have one of those summers, man. It's going to be full of sports. No football, just Champions League final to go. And we just have to put up with all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Anybody mention cricket? No, let's leave it. Lovely cricket. Let's just leave it right there.
We don't want to say congratulations to Brandon King, who scored his first century in the game. Okay. So at least we want to highlight that. Obviously, it's not a big team that they're playing, but Brandon King, Jamaican, has done well to score that century.
Wow.
We had the races meet here in Jamaica on the weekend.
Races Grand Prix.
The Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and some really wonderful times. Sharika Jackson, 10.78 over 100 meters. That stands out in my mind. And there are a number of other big performances. We're going to be talking more about that later on. But all in all, although it was not a well-attended meet because, of course, there was inclement weather, the grandstand was had the largest crowd, and there was a sprinkling of people in the bleachers. But they saw some really, really wonderful performances. Yeah.
Is that why Usain Bolt popped up all across our social media here in the UK?
Yeah, he was very much
made
there.
an appearance. Yeah.
Well, we see him. When you see him next to a racetrack, you're like, what?
It's time.
Come on, get your spikes back on, son. But I saw him pop up on social media. I know when Jamaica's preparing athletes. I mean, we don't get to see the preparation. We hear about it. We see some of the names, but we're just really interested when it comes to the World Championship and the Olympics, where we just go for clean sweeps.
True.
And it's equally like when I was in Kenya. They just talk about their long distance athlete runners. They're so proud of their runners and the machine. And there's a area in Kenya called Eldoret. Do check it out. It's called Eldoret, and they call it the city of champions. And most of the runners, I don't know if that's the case in Jamaica, most of the runners who've achieved like the highest marks in world athletics come from one area called Eldoret. I don't know what it is about the food or the water.
Interesting.
Or the mountains.
Champions. Or the mountains. It could be that. They just produce champions after champions after champions. So, we look forward to that when it
The
comes
Americans didn't do badly. Noah Lyles in the 200 meter here, he did 19.67, and he pretty much decimated the entire team. Christian Coleman, I was hoping that I was hoping to have gone below 10 seconds. I think he did 10.03 or something like that. But all in all, some really good performances. Tajay Gale for Jamaica doing well, starting off his season well. We mentioned Sharika Jackson. Shanika Ricketts also came through well. And a couple of the overseas athletes like Van de Kerk out of South Africa who did well in the 400 meter. And there are a few more that we'll be mentioning as we go along. But of course, it was a good meet. And I hope that they keep it on the calendar.
Yes.
And that they'll get even more support and sponsorships going forward.
Yeah, it would be nice if the world focuses on the island when it comes to. It's brought so much to the world, so why not?
Yeah,
we should have this as an annual event.
Yep.
True. So over here in the UK, apart from the football, we didn't have inclement weather. We had near enough. Richie, just a little bit near enough, but you could cook outside.
Oh,
it was nearly there. It's near. It's just a little bit more. And yes, jerk pans will be out every day, but not quite. So shout out to everybody who tried. I tried.
Your daughter seemed to have nailed the preparation, though, based on what I saw on social media.
that was a small try. You see, it was only it wasn't a pan. It was small. It was like a cup of coal, and that's about it. It wasn't.
Let me tell you what. He thinks that the food that was being prepared was ready on the grill, and his daughter tells him no, it's not ready, and he just had to work with that until she determined when it was ready.
Yeah,
and this is you're what, 11-year-old daughter?
She's 10, man.
10.
Yes, man. She said, no. She said, no. Anyway, and you got birds to catch.
Right now, we're getting right into a very, very important interview. We have right now Gregory Burrows. Gregory Burrows, the Caribbean Commissioner for Babe Ruth International League, actually extended an invitation for Jamaica to participate in the 2023 Babe Ruth Caribbean Championships during a recent visit to the island in February. Jamaica has since been shortlisted and has shortlisted players through a local non-profit organization called Pioneer Select Baseball and Softball, PSBS, with the endorsement of the Jamaica Baseball Association, the JBA. Now, these future stars are looking to make their mark at the second staging of the championships, slated for July 20th through to the 24th in the Bahamas. Now, with accommodation and meals being undertaken by the government of the Bahamas, these Jamaican baseball aspirants are very close to experiencing an extraordinary opportunity that will act as a catalyst for the further development of the sport in Jamaica. Now, fundraising efforts are underway to offset the travel expenses for 30 players from the under 12 and under 16 teams. Jamaica is hoping to make a strong showing in its inaugural participation at the championships, which promises to be a highly competitive event featuring teams from across the region. And this morning, Richie, we have Geli-Anne Campbell, who is the Assistant Commissioner for the Babe Ruth Jamaica and First Vice President of the Pioneer Select Baseball and Softball PSBS. As well, we have Gregory Tulloch, who is the President of the Pioneer Select Baseball and Softball PSBS. Good morning.
Good morning. And good morning to your listeners.
All right,
Thank you so much for having us.
Our pleasure. So I heard Geli-Anne. Gregory, Mr. Tulloch.
I'm here. Good morning.
Greetings.
Morning to both of you. Welcome. Yes.
All right. So right off the bat, I'll start with Geli-Anne. What is the Babe Ruth International League?
All right. So I'm sure that everybody's familiar with the name Babe Ruth.
Mm-hmm.
The league is named after one of the greatest baseball players of all time, George Herman Babe Ruth. And the organization, which is over 70 years old, is a non-profit international program which has almost 2 million volunteers across the world. We have around 1 million players and roughly 60,000 teams and 11,000 leagues. And Jamaica has joined this movement approximately 2 years now. And this is going to be our first time going off to the Babe Ruth Caribbean Championships in July.
Wow, I love that. And as it relates to the work of the PSBS, Mr. Tulloch, can you just share some information on the initiative and just some of the great things that you guys have accomplished?
Well, we started off early this year where we came in and we tried to help the players here, trying to get them getting them equipment and the necessary stuff to get ready for the tournament.
And would you say, Mr. Tulloch, in terms of baseball, because in Jamaica, our thing of cricket, like cricket, is the closest we'd come to baseball. What has the reception been like, especially from our youngsters?
We had a big turnout at our first workout, the tryout that we did to get the short list of players. We went to St. Thomas and we had like 70 kids turned out. And we went to St. Elizabeth where we had over 60 kids showed up.
Wow.
All right. That's
so and the kids that came to St. Thomas were really from like Kingston and Portmore and St. Thomas.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Are you
The feedback has been phenomenal, I have to add.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's excited that Jamaica is making a big move to develop the sport of baseball across the island. People from all over the world are just looking on because they know that this is Jamaica is a source of great athletes.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So the energy is high.
Love that.
So Geli-Anne, as it is now, are you like, do you have your sponsors down pat? Are you seeking support, and if so, how can persons actually support this major development as far as our sports is concerned?
All right. So the quick answer to that is that we're not really getting the support that we would like, but we are still getting a lot from persons who are passionate about the sport and who are great philanthropists at heart, and we thank them. So we are a good way there. We are finally confirmed to participate, but there's still a little bit of a shortfall, and we have a deadline to pay for all the tickets, which amounts to about $22,000 US. That deadline is next week, Tuesday, I believe. So we are just calling on support from your listeners, Corporate Jamaica, anybody who is on. We are working hard with these children, and we are asking for checks, donations via Zelle, Cash App, whatever it is. You can reach out to us, and we'll make it happen.
And how can they actually reach out to you? Where can they find you?
All right. So to make donations via Cash App, our Cash App number is 561-401-5386. Our Zelle number is 561-401-3497. And we're on socials, Instagram, Pioneer Select Baseball _softball, and we're on Twitter and Facebook at Pioneer Select Baseball and Softball.
All right, and you don't have a lot of time, so we're asking for persons who are prepared to assist to do so, like immediately. Would you say, Geli-Anne?
Absolutely, please. These kids are just, oh my goodness, I can't put it into words. Please give us a call. Our local number is 876-525-2320. And you can reach out to our president, Gregory, at 561-401-5386. Gregory is actually in the island now working with the children because he's an expert coach, and he's also working with our advanced coaches that we have through the Babe Ruth program here in Jamaica.
Wow.
And the work is just on.
Wow. Love that. Now I have to ask this, Gregory, what was like the selection process like though for the upcoming Caribbean Championships? Was it difficult to to fine tune the players and even select the final team?
It was difficult, especially with the 12U. Yesterday, I was kind of floored how much the kids developed from the last time I saw them. I was like, damn, this is harder than I thought it would be. Because I have to know, be a bad guy now and try to pick 14 kids out of the 25 shortlisted players that we had. And I was very impressed how much these kids develop and how much some of the coaches learned.
Wow.
What is the age range like for the students who are participating?
They start from 9 all the way to 17.
Oh, okay. Do you feel that we have a bright future here in Jamaica for this sport?
Yes, we do.
Absolutely.
If you ever come out and watch one of these practices and just have a talented kid from the States and you compare those two videos, we're not far off. We have some kids right now that I send their videos like to some of the coaches in the States that coach like travel leagues in the States, and they're like, hey, if you can get them up here, we'll keep them and have them play for free.
Wow.
And learn the sport more. The kids have the talent here, and it's super great to watch.
Love that.
Talking about watching them, Geli-Anne, is there any activity that's planned where the team can be seen in action before their departure in July?
Well, we're going to be sharing more on Instagram and Facebook. We're really doing more closed-door trainings at the moment. However, we will be opening up in August, the latter part of August, and inviting anybody who has any child who has an interest in baseball or softball to be a part of our summer program. And we will have details posted to socials as well as our website that's being developed, pioneerselect.com.
Okay.
I love that.
And just before you go, then just remind persons what the need is and how they can actually contribute to the team in terms of the shortfall that there is. Go ahead, Geli-Anne.
The need is $22,000 US. Every $50 counts. If you want to sponsor a child, there are some incentives in there for you. If it is you're an organization, you can give us a call at 525-2320. That's our local number, or 561-401-5386.
All right, and by so doing, you could be helping some youngsters to make it to the 2023 Babe Ruth Caribbean Championships for baseball and softball, and of course they have our good wishes.
Definitely.
And we hope that the Bridge Nation will rally to this call and support the team.
I agree, because that egg, Mr. Gregory, just a question.
Yes, sir.
Can anybody do that pitch like softball pitch, because that look difficult, like the underarm thing? That's
The girls, the softball is girls, and the girls throw on the arm.
How do they even do that? You know what? You're gonna have to, because I'm so fascinated by that. So I can imagine just seeing these youngsters doing that, amazing at that speed. Trust me, great work. So I've always wanted to know how to do that. So it's nice to see that you guys are, teaching the kids this, because that's not that hard. I know you're going to tell me it's easy, sir. It's hard. I've tried it once. It's no.
Well, you should see the boys pitch. You should see these kids learning how to pitch. The boys too.
Wow.
There's kids right now in here that's throwing 70, 80 right now, and that's phenomenal.
What?
Future looks good for us here in Jamaica with these youngsters. We're proud to hear that. And I want to thank you both for coming on this morning and sharing these details with us. I hope that you get the necessary support and that the team will go over and represent for themselves and for their country very, very well. Thank you once again, Geli-Anne
Richie,
Campbell.
Could I just say thank you quickly? Celestial Freight Solutions and Next Step Digital Solutions. That's the company that's helping us build out our website. And Caribbean Way Apparel and the host of donors that we have from the U.S. who've been helping us with gear and equipment. Thank you so much.
All right, Geli-Anne Campbell, thank you so very much yourself. Assistant Commissioner for Babe Ruth Jamaica, First Vice President, Pioneer Select Baseball and Softball, and of course Gregory Tulloch, the President of Pioneer Select Baseball and Softball. Thank you both. Have a great day. All the best.